Hi, and welcome to BUS 330, Principles of Finance for the Winter 2019. So this video is critical that you watch this entire video because this will show you everything you need to do to be successful in this course. If you fail to watch the entire video, you may fail to complete some of the critical items and assignments in this course. Okay, the first thing you should do is read over announcements, specifically this getting started with BUS 330. So first thing you need to do is watch this video, which you're doing, which is good. Then you should subscribe to my YouTube playlist. So I'll leave a link for you to subscribe to the YouTube playlist, which is a good idea. Now you could also click this button here to get to the YouTube playlists. So if you click this, this will pop open the playlist for the class. Okay. And you can subscribe to it so that way you get announcements if I make any changes or updates or send any new videos. All right. Now, number one, review the Blackboard and read over all the announcements. That's what we're doing right now. But you should also take time to read them over and keep track of them. 2, you want to buy the textbook or register for the Homework Manager, My Finance Lab. 3, register for the Zoom simulation. 4, read the syllabus. 5, read chapter 1 of the textbook. So that's my 5 quick tips for getting started with this course. So let's go through the announcements together. Okay, so one announcement here. I'll see if I can make the screen bigger. Okay, just so you can see the announcement a little. Whoa. Okay, that's too big. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so next announcement, late assignments. So I'm very strict with accepting no late assignments. So if you've been in previous classes of mine, you know that I will not accept late assignments, specifically since I open up the assignments since day 1 or earlier of the course for you to work on. So I do state this in the syllabus, and I'm very firm about this. Students may make requests, but they're always denied unless they're for a documented medical or legal or school-related event. But even so, you should always strive to get your homework done early so that if you wait to the last minute, everything that can go wrong probably will go wrong. So just keep in mind that this is not the type of course where you can submit late assignments and get any type of credit for them. Okay. Now, let's move to the next thing. My Finance Lab, Homework Manager, and ebook. So they are sold together. They are not sold separately anymore. So when you buy the Homework Manager, you get a copy of the ebook with the Homework Manager. And these are the instructions of how to set up the Homework Manager. And there is a course ID you're going to need. So with the Homework Manager, you pay for it with a credit card, and then it's going to ask you for course ID. And this will be the course ID to link you to this specific course and the assignments set up within. Now, let's go to the Homework Manager and see what that looks like. Okay, so this is the My Finance Lab. And what you want to do is you want to register as a student. You click on Register as a Student, and it's going to say you need your email address, your instructor's course ID, which I gave you on announcements, and then you'll be paying with credit card or maybe PayPal. There are no access codes. So then you click when you're ready to register, and then this is where you're going to input the course ID for the class. So you come back to announcements, you find the course ID here, you put it into the Pearson, and then you continue. Now, when you do sign up, make sure you use the same first and last name that you have set up in Blackboard, so I can easily tell who you are. Don't use any nicknames or any abbreviations. Put the name as it is shown on your Stony Brook accounts, so that way I can easily tie you to when I put your grade in later for this course. Okay, so the Homework Manager is relatively simple thing to sign up for, and when you register for the Homework Manager, the ebook comes with it. So that's how you get the textbook for the class. Okay, moving on, we do have a project called the Zoom Simulation Project. So the date to register for an account and get started with this project is January 8th. I do have a link here that shows you how to get started with the basics of the simulation. And again, once again, this is something you pay for with credit card. There are no authorization codes for this class. So this is something you buy with a credit card. And then you have to click on the classroom competition to create a company. And then you're going to be a team of one, and you're going to work alone for this project. And you can compete against other students making the financial decisions for a corporation. You don't have to do any practice rounds, although you might want to do them. They are helpful. And then you're responsible for completing 6 rounds. These are the due dates for each of the rounds. Each of the rounds are due by 11:30 p.m. that night. And if you miss a round, you will lose points for missing a round, and your performance will be not so good. Okay, so how do you register? You go to the www.zoomsim.net to register, and we're going to be using the class code WIN19. And we'll do that in a second. But once you're in the simulation, there's a scale of how your points are earned. So there's 20 points for this project, and you want to earn over 2,600 points, cumulative points. So every round you earn points. We add those points together for all 6 rounds. And if you get over 2,600, you get the full points. And if you start getting less, all the way down to 1,500, you only get 12 of these 20 points. So you're being graded on performance. So when you go to zoomsim.net, you want to register, click on register, and then student, and then you're going to fill in your name, email, and again, use the first and last name that is shown in Blackboard or Solar, so I know exactly who you are, your email, create a username and password that you'll easily remember, something that you won't forget. Write that down. And then once you register, it'll ask for a payment, which will be a credit card, maybe PayPal, and then you will do the class selection. So the class selection will be this WIN19 is the class selection. And then you will create a team. You click on Classroom Competition, and you can create and name the team anything you want. And remember, we're working as a team of one. So you're just going to be competing straight up with the students in the course as a team of one, because it's too complicated in a 3-week course to really form teams and expect you to work in teams in such a short time period. Okay, and then I will, under announcements, as test 1 and test 2 come close to being due, I will put a quick test review and announcements and remind you about these tests that you need to complete. So let's just look at the Homework Manager real quick again. Okay, so when you sign into the Homework Manager, you're going to have a course home screen here, but you want to go to Assignments. And when you're in Assignments, you'll have Do Homework or Take a Quiz Test. So if you do, say, click on Do Homework, then the assignments and the due dates for all the assignments in due date order will pop up. So we have homework, starting with the chapter homework, chapters 1 through 10, each of those homeworks. And then you have on the 17th and 24th, you have an Excel homework, which is going to be administered through My Finance Lab. Now, when you take a homework, you click on the homework, and then you click on the question you want to complete. So this is very important. When you're doing the questions, there's a way to get extra help. So when you're reading over the question, it wants you to fill in the current bid-ask spread for this stock here. And you want to always make sure you read this round to the nearest dollar. So this means when you round to the nearest dollar, it would be 1 or 2 would be rounding to the nearest dollar. So let's look at question help. And you can go to Help Me Solve This, view an example, or see the textbook pages where the problem is coming from. So I think view an example is the easiest to work with. So here they give you an example, the same question they give you, and then they say calculate the bid-ask spread, and you can click on continue. So then they show the bid divided by the bid minus the ask. Actually, it's the formula would be the ask price minus the bid. Sorry about that, and you get a whole 980. So that's what you would enter into the box, but your numbers will be different. So you can continue, And as you continue with the problem, it's going to show you the transaction cost. So it'll show you the formula and actually the math example to complete the problem. As you work through, so you keep clicking continue, and it'll keep giving you the math and the formulas on how to solve the problem. So that's a really great tool to get to know how to do this. So here, so question A, you have a bid price of $262,900 and an ask price of $263,800. So following the formula, $263,810 ask price minus the $262,900 bid price gives a difference of $910. So I'll put that in there, and I'm rounding to the nearest dollar. There's no change here, so you always want to make sure you follow that. And I can check answer, and it's saying I got the answer. Good, done. So I know that I can move on to the second problem. Now, once you complete a homework, if you don't like your score when you complete the entire homework, you can restart the entire homework and try again. So I do give you additional attempts. So if you're working through the homework, you might get some wrong. After you completely finish all the questions in the homework, let me close this. Leave that. When you finish all the questions in the homework, then you can hit OK, and you can start the homework again. And actually, I didn't finish it, so I can't restart yet. But once I've finished every question, they do give you the ability to redo the homework after you finish and submit the homework. If you don't like your final grade, you can start over again from the beginning. But what you can't do is once you get a question wrong, you can't go back and change it. But what's nice though, so say if I go on to, I'm on this problem and there's the second question. What if I do get it wrong in the second question? I can check my answer and it'll say, okay, that's wrong. It'll give me some update to why it's wrong. And then can I change it again? Yeah, you can go in and change it again. And it says it's wrong again. And then I can go in. So during the question, I could try this a few times. And then finally, after the third attempt, they'll say your correct answer, you answered. So I'm going to say, okay, so you get that wrong. And you get a little note with this red box, what you answered. It'll show you what you answered in the box and the correct answer in the box and what you answered. And then you can get feedback on the question about why you got that wrong. So then I got that wrong. I'd have to continue, and after I complete the whole assignment, if I got a few wrong, even after multiple tries in the problem, you can go and restart the homework over again and redo it. So it gives you a lot of attempts to get the full score on each of the homework. But what you have to remember is this question help for the Help Me Solve and View an Example is critical to really knowing how to solve these homework problems and get an idea of how to easily do that. So that's very important. So let me go. Now, the typical 1 through 10 chapter homeworks are questions like that where you're given problems and you have to make calculations. Now, there are 2 Excel homeworks. These are special type of homework. So when you click on this, you're going to have multiple questions in here. So if I click on one of the questions, it's going to ask me to download the material. So step 1, I'm going to download the material. Now this requires that you work with Excel. So you're going to need Excel to do these problems. And if you're a Stony Brook student, Excel is free. You can get the Microsoft Office subscription for free. Just go to the Stony Brook website and search for Microsoft Office, and it'll probably lead you to where you can get that for free. Now, most people will have Excel already, and we're working with versions of Excel 2013 up into 2016 or newer will work. So Office 2012 Excel may not work, so make sure you have more current within the last 6 years or so Excel. Okay, so first thing, you download the materials. So it's going to come with instructions, it's going to come with the Excel file, and sometimes a zip file which will put both these files together. So if you don't know how to work with a zip, that's fine. Just download each of them individually. So you can download the Word file, and you can download the Excel file individually. So if you don't want to work with a zip, you don't have to. So I'm going to close this. Now, so the Word file is going to give you the same thing that you're going to see in preview steps. So if you click on preview steps, it gives you these steps on what to do for each of the cells. So it gives you the instructions. And if you downloaded the Word document, it will also load that up in a Word document. So here we have, this is, let's see, that's not the, okay, here is the Excel is loading. Just takes a second to load here. Okay. Let me enable the editing. So here again, these are going to be the requirements. So I would say you probably don't even need to download the Word document because they put the requirements in the Excel usually and in the on the website. Oh, here's the Excel. So the Excel, this is the Word document. So just always hit this enable editing. It's fairly annoying. But the Word document is just the instructions on what to do, asking you what to do for each of the cells. And this, I would say that you probably don't even have to download the Word documents because they usually back up that same thing right in the Excel file and online. So just download the Excel file for each question. So it's going to ask you to calculate the total proceeds. So if you look at it, says in cell 1, by using cell references, calculate total proceeds of the IPO. So it's probably something like, total proceeds. And then you would go on to answer all these questions in the blue boxes. And then once you're done, you would want to save the file. And the file already has your name in it. So you would go ahead and save this Excel file. So let me close that. That's just, never mind the other file, it's just something I'm working on. Okay, so the preview steps are the same instructions you saw in the Excel file and in the Word document. So it's just listed twice. And then you want to do an upload. So you want to choose to upload the file. So you want to click on Choose File. Okay, so once I select the file, I have to click Upload, and it's going to upload it, success. And then I could submit for grading. And click on Submit for grading. Okay. Close project. All right, so that would be question 2. So you have to do that for each question. Now, here's the cool part. When you go into, I'm going to hit OK here. When I go into the main menu, you want to click on Results. So if I click on Results, I will see Excel Homework 1. The result is I got 0.17 correct out of 10, which makes sense. I only answered one question. So if I click on Review, okay, and then I click on that question, Continue to Review. Okay, so I click on the question. It's going to show me I got the first question right, but I got the rest of them wrong because I didn't answer them, which is correct. Now I could click on the Live Comments report. So I click on that, and it's going to download the spreadsheet. But now it's going to download, let's see here. And this is giving me the comments on the file. And now if I go, so this is the makeup of the grade. So if I go one question over to chapter 2, this is going to actually give me a highlight. If I go into see this red triangle here, if I go in here, it's going to show me the actual formula I needed to use to answer the question. So it's going to give me the instructions of what to do to complete the problem. So here you can go in and see exactly what the formula is to get the correct answer. Basically the answer key giving you the answer and how to complete it. So what you can do once you review the problems and get the correct answer to each of the problems, you can now go back to assignments, go back into the Excel homework, click on the problem, and then after you update your file, you could modify the original file you had, or download the file, the Excel file again, upload it, and submit for grading a second time. So I'll give you unlimited attempts to submit your Excel projects for grading. So this way you can see exactly what you did wrong, correct it, and resubmit it so you can get the full credits. So there's really be no reason other than time that would prevent you from getting the full credits on these Excel homework problems. Okay, so those are the basic homeworks that you're going to complete in the Homework Manager. And then there's going to be take a test/quiz. They're not, you won't see them here yet because they're not available to work on. But basically, let me show you what that would look like. I just changed the date so we could see. If we go to assignments and then we click on take a quiz test, you see test 1. You won't see this until the actual due day, but I'm just opening it earlier. So you see for test 1, we'll say test 1 here, 200 minutes, and you get 1 attempt. So if I click on test 1, and I say, it'll tell me how much time. I'll say start test. And now you see the clock will start to tick down, the time limit. And then I'm going to get, you'll see that the first test is one of 24 questions. Here's the actual first question. I'll complete the question and then move on to the next question. So once you're done with the test, you click on submit test. So you don't click submit test, you're done with the whole test. Now, if something happens and the test, the test closes, or you accidentally, your computer shut down, you had to switch to a new computer, you'll see it'll say incomplete. You click on test 1 again, and you can click on finish the test. And this will bring you back into the test. The clock won't stop though. The clock will keep ticking. So, you have to, when you start the test, if you step away or change computers and that took you 10 minutes, you lost 10 minutes of test time. So once the clock starts ticking, it doesn't stop. Okay, so that's an example of what the test would look like. So you only get 1 attempt at the test, but I give you plenty of time, so you should be able to finish the test without much of an issue. Okay, so then that's all you need to know about the Homework Manager. You'll have the Pearson e-textbook, which you can click on, and you'll get the textbook for the class to read. You'll have the assignments and your results. So then in the results, it will show you what your actual percentage, your grade will be, your average. And you see it's very low because I did badly on both the homework and the Excel because I was just demonstrating. And you'll see your progress of what you submitted here. So the tabs you're really going to be using here mostly is the e-text, the results, and the assignments. Okay, so that is the Homework Manager. Just wanted to kind of go over that because it's important. Now, I won't be using the grade book in Blackboard. All the grades will be on results, under results, even the simulation grade. When you're done, I'll put that in results as well. So let's just look at the syllabus real quick. So when you go in here, the syllabus for the class is 100% online, and it's asynchronous, so you can work on the class when you have the time. Any time during the day you have the time. So we're not going to meet in person or meet online or anything like that. So it's 100% online. And this, I suggest reading over the entire syllabus. So it gives you the course description and overview, the course materials for the My Finance Lab and textbook. They give you a website here, the Zoom simulation and the website. See announcements for the class codes for both of these. The learning objectives for the class, the weekly goals, learning objectives, your responsibilities, and then the grading. So you're going to get 20 points for the Zoom simulation, 80 points for the textbook homework questions and Excel problems. That's 80 points, 50 points for test 1 and 50 points for test 2. So it's a total of 200 points. And the average of your grades will be fit onto this grading scale. And the Homework Manager will give you a percentage which would be equal to this one of these numbers on the grading scale. Okay, so the course schedule: in week 1 we're covering 4 chapters, and week 2 we're covering 3 chapters, and we have the first test, and in week 3 we cover another 3 chapters, and we have the second test. So that's our 3-week schedule. So we're covering 10 chapters and we have 2 tests. There's also some notes about academic integrity, academic dishonesty, and disabilities and critical management incidents. So you may want to read over those stipulations. Okay, so the syllabus is something that when you have the time, read over fully. and to get a better idea of the specifics of this course. So I showed you this is the button we can click, and it'll bring us into the class lectures. So these are all the class lectures that I have for the class that you want to watch to get an idea for each of the chapters. I go through all the chapters here, and I put it up in YouTube because YouTube's an easy environment for you to work in. You can get this on your iPhone, your Samsung phone, your iPad, your computer, your laptop, your Mac, wherever you can get these lectures very easy. So it makes it very easy to watch them. And I recommend you subscribe to the channel just so you can easily find me or see when new things are posted. I do have a button here for My Finance Lab and eBooks. If you click this button, it will go to the My Finance Lab where you can register as a student. I have a button here for the Zoom simulation. You click this, it'll bring you to the Zoom simulation webpage where you can register as a student and start playing the team competition. And for the simulation, I do recommend in the announcements area, I do give you a video where you can watch that will give you specifics of how the simulation works and how to fill out a round. Okay. Going back to the course menu. Okay, we have the PowerPoints for the class, of course. We're in here where all the PowerPoints we backed up that I use for the videos. Okay, so that's pretty much the course. And congratulations, you're at the end of the Getting Started video. If you have any additional questions, feel free to email me, but I've tried to make this course as clear and concise as possible. Thank you, and I hope you have an enjoyable time with this winter course, and I wish you the most success. Take care.